I've been doing this from the time I'm 22. I'm 29 now. You want me to change for you?
You're a veteran.
I'm a veteran. You're ancestor.
So umjito
Not like hamba, but I'm open to it. Like as long as I do not find out, stop that.
Nkululeko on Cultr.
Nkululeko on Cultr. Hello and welcome to yet another episode. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing on the content. Today's guest is Nomthandazo Phangisile. As we always do, we speak to people that work in industries that you may not be familiar with and may not have had a lot of information from. So that's one of those interviews as well. As always, I always ask you that at any point you feel uncomfortable with the information being shared, you can always stop and watch something else on the channel or at the vast spectrum of channels on the YouTube universe. Nomthandazo, thank you very much for joining us. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you so much. Where are you from originally before we get into your work?
So I'm from Soweto, born and raised in Soweto, Orlando West. Yeah, grew up in Joburg. I'm a city girl.
Like, without mentioning names of people and stuff like that, what kind of family life did you have when you were growing up?
I grew up in a very strict family, funny enough. I had a very strict background. My dad was a very strict father. My mom was a church-going lady. So I grew up in a very strict home, loving, lots of cousins, lots of family around, and yeah.
Yeah, and how far did you go in terms of schooling?
In terms of schooling, so I graduated my matric, and after that I tried to do a diploma in business management, but then I dropped out, and then I did a certificate in hand beauty in the Soft and Free Academy. And then shortly after that, I tried again to study a degree in Greenside Design Center, but I dropped out because of the architecture. I'm not good with math. So yeah, so I did try to go to school, but it was like, not for you.
In terms of your family life, were there always too many people there?
Not really.
Are you the only child in your family?
I'm not the only child. I do have a sibling, just one sister, and manje senginama nephews. And I had cousins growing up at Jardin, behlezi naboma, twana baka malume, twana baka auntie, you know. So I grew up from a very loving and big family.
Yeah. When did it occur to you that maybe when you were a 12-year-old girl, did you have any imaginations of what you would want to do at some point in the future?
Never ever have I thought that I would want to do. I mean, I looked at as something that was so far away from me because of looking at my surrounding. Ubaba why strict, uma why strict. I never thought that there would come a point where I would be doing. So no, not at all.
Yeah. And then at varsity, how long did you stay? You say you dropped out and you did some certificates as well.
Yeah.
Was that the vibe that introduced you to certain possibilities of what you would like to do?
Well, not really, because when I got to varsity and colleges, like I would never like really fit in. So I thought that I was gonna be in corporate. I thought that I was gonna be that girl, some manager of some company, some big company, but then that never worked out for me because I suffer a lot from anxiety and depression. So whenever I would be in a crowd, I would always freak out and not participate well, and I'd always look to fit in spaces. So I just knew I would go to school just to make people and family happy, but I just knew Guti, this is not me. Yeah.
At what point did you get introduced? And maybe that's where I'm trying to get at.
Okay.
At what point did you get introduced to impilo, yogushuta, unonu, and stuff like that?
Oh, so you want to know when did I start doing? So I'd like to think, I started doing at the age of like 22. Why do I say that? Because I'm depressed, no job, done with call centers, trying everything. I took a newspaper and I looked for a job, and I saw looking for models, and I didn't even know what that was. And I was like 22 at that time. I called the number and they asked me, "Do you know what you're going to be doing?" And I was like, "What am I going to be doing? Selling myself?" And they said, "Yes." And I was like, "Okay, I'm interested." And I got introduced at that age. I was scared to go, but I ended up going because I could understand ukuthi angina kwasa, and it's difficult to get a job. So for me, it was going for it, and yeah.
Yeah,
At that age, at 22.
like so you have this conversation with this person, and what happens after this?
So I had this conversation with this lady, never forget her. I arranged, went to the studio. Mangfiga, the first thing I saw was a bunch of women on the camera. And already I was like, oh, okay, but then all right, marabasa kamereni, so nothing to worry about because there's no guys doing stuff to them. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna be comfortable around this space because I really needed the money at that time. And so I did it. I just went into it at that age. And by then, being OnlyFans, I didn't even know how to maneuver about my Instagram.
Yeah.
So it was just me and webcamming. And I stayed in the studio for a long time. And I think at the age of 24, 25, I took a break. Then got introduced to OnlyFans. I think that was in 2019. And then Gezagengayo.
Oh, okay. And then when you were there, do you remember in terms of, because of course, whenever most of us when we were 22, we remember the exploitation of our first initial jobs.
Yeah.
And the little money that we were making relative to what we're currently making now.
Yeah.
How were you supposed to make money, and why did you stay for 2.5 years there?
Okay, so in studios, the industry by then being be broad kangago. So we were not introduced to working with our phones, working with a laptop at home. We thought the only way for us to do this was for us to have a manager. We didn't know. We were not exposed to it that much. So at the time, imali bebasinika yona obviously bebancane because they take percentages. They tell you if you don't reach a target, so target in a week, we're gonna take half of your salary, or even 40% or 60%, depending on how much you've made. Mm-hmm. So the exploitation was there, but we would never feel it because bengekho enye indawo besizwa kuyo. And at that age, unemployment ngapha you want to look pretty, so the pressure was there, and the studios were open, and we could never just sit and do nothing.
So what would you do? You would shoot live with an audience paying for you to shoot live and do stuff? What was the setup? What was happening there?
So the setup in studios is it's basically a bedroom, and there's a computer, a PC with a camera. You stream live. You talk to guys internationally, even from around. So they come there. They either take you private or they give you tokens. That's how you get paid. You get paid with privates, exclusive shows, and tokens. Mm-hmm. So that's what we would do in studios. It's someone's house, and we try to make the bag, and you already know Gucci, they're gonna take a percentage, and if you're not making money, they're not gonna fire you, honey. You always have a job. They don't fire you. If you don't make money, they're gonna give you a loan. But I take a loan, and but we took that money for the loan, another loan. So it was just, we were new. We didn't know. We were scared to show it off. We were scared to be open about it. We could never say, you know, so as you grow, that's when you get exposed. That's when we engage with American models as well. And better our craft.
Yeah. And is there no, because kunokushaya kulezi indawo lapho kushutha khona ama video nani, but it transforms at night. It becomes something else. Were you guys not selling at night to guys so that you can have physical contact at that level? Because I know like these places are clandestine. They are in the dark shades of the night.
Yeah.
They are something else during the day, something else during the night.
Yeah. So I did work in one studio. It was in Sentin. I'm not going to mention the name of the studio, obviously. The studio, had a salon as a front. But Tina, behind the salon, is staff must look busy. There's rooms there where we're streaming live. But we would never get hookups. We were not allowed to bring guys in and out because the guys are well-known guys. So we couldn't just bring guys in and out. So we never do hookups, but there would be girls that would take hookups from the line guys. Like there would be guys who would not take you private but would say, I'd rather pay you in person. There were girls who would take that risk and meet with those guys and probably give them money or whatever. So, but I never did it.
Yeah. So what kind of a person were you before you got introduced to the world? Because what usually happens is you go into an industry like that innocent, you don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't do anything. Were you already introduced to the idea of monetizing your body and stuff like that, or were those things did you learn those things when you got there? They were pulls up before you got there.
Yeah.
Were you before you got there and stuff like that?
So before I started this whole industry thing, the whole life, I was already drinking alcohol. Yes, I was not a virgin. Yes, I was already active. But I don't want to lie, it did make me more veiled sexually. Like it just unleashed another side of me that I didn't know, because then what happens is you gain the confidence. You gain the confidence by these guys always when you move, when you do a certain stuff, they tip you, they tell you it's beautiful. You gain the confidence and it takes you on another level. So before the industry, I would say I was innocent, but I already knew good thing. I'm a pretty girl and I know guys be looking at me, you know. So just like, yeah, I know you guys are looking, but I'm not selling this until I got to the studio and it was for sale for dollars though.
Is she pretty?
Yeah.
Are you attracted to her?
No, I'm not attracted to her. But I can say that she's pretty, you know.
Don't lie.
I'm not attracted
You're not attracted to me? You'd never give me like a young boob job?
No.
Cultr is very conservative.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Until she's not. Because of course, a lot of people are not what they claim to be until behind closed doors.
Until
they
there comes a certain point.
Yeah. And then so you did that, and I'm trying to get to the money side as well. You explained it, but you didn't really express, like, was it rewarding? Would you make 10,000 when you were doing those cams under someone else's studios?
Yeah.
Were you able to pay bills at the time?
That is why we always came back, because the money was there. We could never even feel Luguti, they were taking it from us.
Oh, okay.
Literally, they would give us peanuts. Like you would get in a month, at that age of 21, you get paid like 15,000 rands a month. Yes, 15,000 rands per month. You're 21, like you're 22.
That's a lot of money for a
you
young
don't
person.
know what to do with this money. You don't owe anybody nothing. You get introduced. That's why the girls kept coming back and coming back. Then that's why studios are not closing down, even though we are able to work from home. But they will never close down because they push you to work hard and then they give you maybe like 40% of your money. So you think you have worked for the month, you get like 10, 15, 20,000 rands, and you think, oh, you've done it because you get paid per fortnight. By then, we used to get paid per fortnight.
Every 2 weeks.
I don't know how they pay them now, but we used to get paid per fortnight. So,
So every 2 weeks you would be getting 15, 10.
Yeah, every 2 weeks, 15, 10K, and there's no responsibility. Ucabanga nje, when I can wine, ucabanga alcohol, you're thinking nice life, you're thinking heels, you're thinking sentient taboo, I want to go and enter there. So there was no such a thing as we felt exploited, we felt used. No, we didn't, because everything was given to us.
Yeah. What percentage of young women do you think are involved in that life? Because of course, you being an active member of that life and shooting, the wool over your eyes is pulled. You get to see things that you were not expecting. Did you start suddenly realizing what there are more normal people who do this?
Yeah. So what happens is with this industry, especially in studios, that's where you see a lot of people are actually doing this in many ways. Like you'd never see umamfundisi. You never think ukuthi ungabona umamfundisi using a and making money. But I saw that in a studio. They would come every day. Pastor's wife, Simbi's a pastor's wife. Yeah. Atati angenela nini, knock off and go back home. Normal people do this. It's just as a stigma. I feel like in South Africa, because it's a village mentality.
Yeah.
Ukuthi, when's is fair, but at the end of the day, how many guys do I in a month, and how many guys do you in a month ukuthi uthole imali yekota nemali ye-airtime? Mina ngenza ngibeka imali yama-property, imali yey'moto, wena you still ufuna imali yekota nemali yani ulokuzifihla ucashile ukuthi bazothina. Awunamali ulambile ngaleso sikhathi, my love. So a lot of people are doing it. It's just that they're scared because there's a stigma. People will call you a bitch. People will disrespect you. People will think you're less of a woman. You're not worthy of marriage. You're not worthy of commitment. And to find that the men fetch them from the gate, drop them off every morning like a normal job. So there's a lot of people who are normal who are doing this and who are hiding it from the public.
Do you think, from your observation, that is normal, that someone was married to someone who dropped them off at that place? Will you respect your man and not see him as your pimp if they drop you off at a studio and come back, as opposed to him working hard to make sure that everything is provided for so that you don't need to do that?
Well, then it depends, because I'm not a girl that would depend on a man, number one. So I'd be worried if indoda yami yangibona ngihleli endlini and is not even making amends ukuthi ngikwazi nami to get out there and make a better life for myself. Working in a studio, ayikho into wrong. For me, I would definitely respect my man. I would respect my man for taking me to work, because I'm going to get there, play with the toy, make my dollars and come back home to him. So I'd respect him as long as I am able to make my own money, because I don't want to be dependent to a guy just because he can provide. Then I must sit back and relax and wear a Gucci and a Prada. I'd rather have my man drop me off at work, make my money and fetch me later, than to let me sit
what impact do you think that makes, or that has, on their as a married couple? The fact that he takes his wife to that industry, and even we can take it to the extreme and say that he's also aware that she is a prostitute more than just being a porn star. What impact do you think that a man allowing other men to sleep with the wife has on their relations and their relationship in general?
So honestly, I don't know how to answer that, because I'm not exposed to. I do not mix. I don't identify them as one. So I would not be able to answer that. But I can put it like this, Uguti. As long as I think Uguti, their relationship becomes more nicer, because my woman is liberated. Like, she's comfortable with her. It's a job. It's a job. Like, my woman is going to work and she loves her work. She's free doing, and she's gonna come back home horny as hell and suck my and give me a good riding. I think that adds a good point to their life. I'm not gonna look at it as they taking their wife to some whorehouse to go get for 500 rands. Hell no. It's you literally streaming and people are watching you and tipping you, not even touching you. They don't even know you. You have a different personality when you're there compared to who you are when you're at home with your husband. So I think it has a perfect impact on the relationship.
Yeah, I mean, the man needs to sign up to the idea that she lives in that world and she works in that world.
Yeah, but then you can also do and not other guys. Like, you can do solo videos and do women, girl and girl videos, and do women videos and do outdoor content.
I've never seen women videos. I think they're probably pointless without the. How do they work out?
Yeah, but it's just it's not a guy. What would you prefer?
No, I'm saying, like, I've never seen women, like a bunch of women just fucking.
No, there are videos.
I
You
think
should
they're
check them
fucking
out.
pointless as I'm imagining them.
No, women know where to touch, how to touch, because they want the same desire. So it's actually nicer without the. Thank you.
Even without the.
How you can enjoy with the woman without using an instrument.
Yo, Tincamile. Mandoyiswa andazi into emhlabeni. Okay. Would you, so let's reverse this.
Yeah.
Would you be comfortable with your man whose primary job is to sleep with as many women as possible to make money, such that by the time that they come to you, they're tired every day. Because of course, there's a finite amount of times you can fuck before you cannot do it anymore on a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because if I slept with 3 women in one day, on the 4th I'm not as energetic
As active, yeah. So you're asking if would I be comfortable
yeah,
with my...
because I mean we've just described now a woman, right? In that world.
But I'm not sleeping with men.
I get it, but still there are men who probably pimping their women for the
Who are
purpose.
allowing, let's not say pimping them, but allowing them to do.
They're actively participating in their women sleeping with other men because it's money, blah 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 blah. But
so if it was a guy,
would you with your man be comfortable knowing that there's a finite number of women he can sleep with per day before he just gets tired and fed up? Because our machine works like that. Like it's like after, even if it's the woman that I really desire, at a certain age, if you find me after I've just slept with someone else or 2 people, it's like I don't have the desire. The machine is no longer working.
It's like, why? What's the point? I mean, I would never be comfortable
That's a double
with
standard.
the guy who does that simply because I love and I want my man to be fully active with me in bed, participate in all the levels, right? So that would not work for me. But if it works for others, man, congratulations, you found your match. What can I say?
But there's a double standard. Yeah, you're born by Hispanic then.
Yeah. No, man, the thing is with us, we don't go out on a day and sleep with 4 guys and come back home tired. We don't do that. It's like in a week, if you are going to shoot with a guy, maybe we'll shoot her once a week or once in 2 weeks. It's not every day you go out and get by 4 guys and come back home tired. I'm always active for sex, honey. Anytime is tea time for me with my man. If he wants it now, we're in a public location and he's like, baby, the bathroom, there's a leakage. I'm running to the bathroom. I'm there. So there's no such a thing. Good just because I'm a porn star. No, I shoot once in a while. And with a stranger, and I'm done. And I come back home to you. Take a shower and look good for you.
That's an unrealistic relationship long term. It sounds to me like an unrealistic relationship long term. This is not
But
judging.
why does it sound unrealistic?
I'm trying to use my brain and I'm not judging. I will never. That's why I call you guys all the time. Like I enjoy these conversations, but I'm just working my brain through what I know about relationships already. It sounds to be like an unrealistic expectation that, one, knowing how we are possessive human beings, we are jealous. Yabo, singabantu mfethu sine hate, sine love, sinomona, sine anger, sine happiness, yabo. So I think all of those things that are built in us will come out at various stages in those relationships. And I also think that, in my opinion, those men that chaperone their women to go and do, for example, I think that slowly, over a period of time, the value of how they see their women declines. Whether or not they express it, it declines. Every year.
But well, then that is your thought, because if you look at American, others are married with kids for years. Others are now, they call themselves retired with their husbands at home, honey. They go on vacations, they on the beach, they don't have a problem. Well, that is why I said in South Africa there's a village mentality of how you should view a woman, how a woman is supposed to behave. We don't live according to those standards.
So you are engaging with me now, and I'm a very free person. I don't give a fuck about what people think most of the time. But I'm saying to you that we have this built-in things as human beings that we cannot escape. Snomona, snotando, siyaqabana, siyajabula, all of those things. I do think that even with you, that's why I twisted it and said, what if it's your man? Because I think that as you go through it, there will be something within you that says, Jesus, this guy, ulala namantomazana, yabo. And uyazi ukuthi yisponsor sakhe, but there is something deep within you, knowingly or unknowingly, whether you express it or not, that will say, geez, man, I would rather prefer to have him exclusively. You know, maybe I'm using immorality, abantu abaphila outside of in the industry.
Yeah.
But I also know that people are people, and banomona, banotando, banonjabulo, banokwata. You know, we all have these built-in emotions within us, and they come out, and that's why people sometimes take life because they saw you with their girlfriend or their boyfriend.
Yeah.
Because we have these built-in things. Ngabantu bethu, yabo.
Yeah. So I think when are you speaking from a person that lives a normal life?
Yeah.
Like a guy that is used to the normal setup of dating a woman that works in corporate, a well-educated woman, you would obviously you have an expectation. You already have an expectation of how she should behave. Now when you come to me, you already know what you're gonna deal with. So if your love declines, honey, it's okay. I'm not gonna let go of the bag just because of love. Because you gonna be able to give me 50,000 rands every month just to tinge and peel before anything else, just for me to wake up and breathe and eat. So if you're dating a woman for what they do or who they are, you are definitely gonna have a problem. But when you come to me knowing what I do for a living, it should never be a problem, I think. Maybe angikho realistic.
Yeah, but
mhlawumbe angikho realistic because I'm in the position now.
I don't think so. I get what you're saying, and as I spoke to Zulu, Barb, and Sexy Ently, I got to learn more about the industry, and I realized.
Yeah, you know, when you find that one person that truly understands you, it becomes so easy for them to even take you to a shoot, knowing very well that in that shoot you're gonna be a guy. They know, Guti, it's the bag, my love. Yeah, they can drive you to a shoot, leave you there, come back and fetch you, and life continues. How was work, babe? Work was okay. Because at the end of the day, we're not doing this for fun. It's a job.
So let bag we are sharing now.
No. We are seven. But
so what is the benefit? What is the benefit of that bag to him?
Oguti, my woman is successful. My woman is independent.
Nah. So I'm a man, right?
Yeah. So you wouldn't want to have an independent woman?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is...
So you have a level of how independent... How are you independent?
What is the direct benefit of him as he chaperones you and takes you to those places?
It's because it's my job.
The reason why a pimp is a pimp and they enjoy that job is because they know they can take you to there. For whatever income that you're making there, they take all of it. Sometimes they just give you a percentage.
So you're calling our boyfriends pimps?
That's why ngibuza ukuthi utholani yena njengoba
he gets a happy woman. He gets a happy woman that has done her job, that feels like she's done something constructive for the day, shot a video, and is gonna get paid from it.
But yena umchita akathole lutho from that.
Akathole nix because I don't ask, personally, I don't ask guys for money. If you're dating me, you know, what would you rather have? Would you rather have an independent girl that you would take to work whenever she wants you to? Or would you rather have a girl ohlele endlini okuhlahlele amehlo neduku negown enengubo amele wena ukuthi ubuye uzomthengela ijangele oats azoyidla ekuseni ngebreakfast ebandayo? What do you want?
But
so it's you choose your poison, honey. Choose your poison, my love. If you want a woman that is respectable, if you're looking into Instagram and about innocent girls, my love.
But a jungle oats is not cold all the time.
God goes every day. And was not changing menu pela we breadwinner.
No, but even breadwinner, and we don't have. We don't have one. No. You're choosing the worst aspects of living a decently, perfectly normal life. You know, we have variety. We're cool.
Khala uze uba ne-side chick ngaphandle bothi ubheka i-side chick i-hot khona ibaba because ubalekela nje ukujola kanti ngabe uthola everything you need, financial independence, good.
So uyamnika le mali umjado?
Ngimnikelani?
So
a woman that is financially independent.
No, but what is the benefit to him with your money?
I think yabona mangabhekisisa manje enkathini zamanje ne abafana bakhathele ukubheja bhuti wami. Like men are tired of gold diggers namantombazana but amadoda akhathele ukuba ama-blesser. So I think men are now comfortable with having women that can do stuff for themselves. Like I think that's the benefit to Guti. She can do stuff for herself. She's not dependent on me. She can survive without me. Wena ufuna ukuthi amadoda ethu amaphimpi kula uyakhona.
I'm looking at the benefit. What is the benefit for him? Because really,
the benefit is having good. The benefit is having an independent woman. The benefit is having to plan a future with someone that can put something on the table, not someone that's just looking beautiful. No,
that's not. No. Maybe in Orlando, where you come from. Maybe in Orlando, in Soweto, where you come from.
What's your name?
Nkululeko.
Manje uthuletha nini Kimbi? Lalisemakudeni lemshisa umntwana. Ukumele ngoba usaba ukwenza ucabanga ukuthi abantu bazothini that time iyawa iexhaust ehwaya ixcontir.
Bazongixolela ke abantu ababukeleyo. I tried on your behalf to defend your normal lives, guys. But yeah, seemingly your normal lives are not good enough.
There's nothing wrong with living a normal life.
No, but when you're seeing the worst aspects of it, not all of them wear gowns as Nugungubo. Not all of them do jungle Otsebanda.
Yeah, not all of them, but majority rules, hey?
No, maybe where you come from, in Orlando.
No. Orlando is fine. Orlando is fine.
Yeah, can we look at...
Yeah.
There's a question that I really wanted to ask before I got into this. Oh, yeah. What is your current state of your relationship now? And do you think it has a realistic prospect of being a successful relationship? How have you been in previous relationships as well?
Okay. So I'll start with my previous relationships before I get into my now relationship.
Sure.
Excuse me. I've always been a woman that loved to be committed.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh, it's the other one.
You are a busy woman.
I am. Sorry, guys.
No, don't worry about it.
I'll just mute this now. Oh, sorry. So, yeah, as I was saying... Sorry about that.
Sure.
As I was saying, I'll start with my previous relationships. I mean, I've always been a woman that has wanted to be committed, looked at marriage as a beautiful thing, because I come from abazali abashadile, from emshadweni. My parents are still together till to date. So my past relationships have always been amazing.
Yeah,
right? Because I'm good in bed. Because I am good in bed and I'm an independent lady. So they've never actually, our relationships are always a bliss.
Okay,
but in all honesty, I mean, my relationships have always been perfect. It's always been easy for me to differentiate the two. Like,
how long do they usually last?
So my longest was 4 years, 4 to 5 years. That was my longest. Yes. So I even go to an extent of staying at home. If I have to stop my job at certain times, I do that. I know how to differentiate work and my love life, so I don't mix the two together. So they always work out fine. My current relationship is doing amazing. It's over a year now. And he met me doing this job. He met me doing and he's quite comfortable. I mean, that's what he tells me.
Is he not a for doing that?
I don't know. Why do you keep saying that?
I'm asking you.
What is the
That's a good question.
Because when he...
Okay, and a question, let me answer.
Yeah.
I-out efana no Will Smith ne. I-out elawulwa ngumfazi. I-out engena kwinto ngoba ifuna ingqoza noma izazi ukuthi ayithandi lento ingena kuyona. So that's why I'm asking, is it not a... Because umuntu ne,
I don't think he is.
Umuntu oyi alpha male uyazi ukuthi ufunani kumuntu wesifazane. Uyazi ukuthi ngizokukhokhela, as in like I'm going to lead you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make sure ukuthi you don't need anything. And even if it means that I have to work 15 hours a day, if that's possible.
Just for me to give you the life that you want.
Yeah.
To get you off the edge of wanting to do what you want to do. Because I want to lead you. I want to direct you to this certain direction. I get you. But it doesn't make my current guy a...
No, you can answer that question. I just asked the question. You can answer.
Yeah, because just because he's comfortable with what I do, it doesn't make him that. And
doesn't make him what? Okay. Can you say that again?
Stop that. No, man. I'm not going to say it again. He is not a
Thank
right?
you.
So it doesn't. It comes with a certain level of understanding. I mean, mohlangane nomuntu wesifazane umthanda enza lento ayenzayo, doing what she does, and she's doing it passionately, and she's enjoying it, and she does not have plans on stopping it until the next 5 years. Are you gonna focus on the now, or are you gonna look at the bigger picture, which this is gonna at some point stop, and it's just a hobby for now. She's just
What if the
enjoying
bigger
it.
picture is that you are an addict and that by the time you're 40, 45, you are going to have a problem stopping? Because clinically, people who work on the field could diagnose you. They could help you out and say, I'm an like you're just an addict. You're a deviant person who just loves to
And then
engage
if
in
I
sex.
am an addict, it's good that I have a man that's gonna give me all the I want.
Not really, because when you're an addict, the addiction is a problem. Addiction is a problem that requires you that if you're not getting it in the moment and the man is not here because he's got to work or he's burying a family in a different province, you have to get it. You got to get it. And you will find
Then
any
I
means.
have a Andre. I've got
Nah.
the hugest in the world. I've got all sorts of when the tokens come in, when it goes it's so there's no problem. No, I'm not. No, it's not a joke. It's an actual serious matter, because there is no problem. There's always a way to get an orgasm, honey, because all you want is the edge to come. So if I switch on my phone, connect my toy, and mshini uyarana bayangithipa ngiyahlatshwa, ngifuna
so lamjeta the out here kuyakwazi ukucompete naleyo.
very well. That's why we're still together.
So there's a certain size that would not satisfy you, obviously.
No. There's no size that would never satisfy me. I'm an nymphomaniac, honey. So everything for me is I'm looking at this joystick now. I'm thinking if I could just ride the shit out of this and just squirt. I'm a nympho. So it's not about size for me. It's about, are we enjoying? Do we run to now? And let's get it done and let's do it. It's the energy. It's not the size. Yeah. Are you okay?
I'm cool. I'm cool.
Let me have a drink.
We understand. I'm not. Can I stand up just to show people I'm not?
No, we believe you.
Okay.
You don't have to believe it.
Akavuma khawukhela.
What do you want me to do?
You've told me that there's been proposals before, not mentioning people's names, but what has been your experience with people who want to be serious with you? And why did you not eventually get married?
Okay, so all the time, this is the thing. People get into a relationship with a person like me knowing what I do, right? And they get to a time when and they want to commit, and they want me to let go of certain things that I struggle to let go of. So I think that's where the deal just gets broken there. Yeah, I think it all boils down to my career at the end of the day.
So niggas have gone out eyagoqa ngedolo efuna ukulobola
Twice.
umuntu oyedwa.
No, different guys.
Different guys.
Yeah.
And you believe that those are not.
They cannot be. Those men wanted to build families with me. How can they be? They wanted to start homes.
You want to build a family with a hoe.
To grow their surnames with me. How can they be bitch niggas?
Grow a surname with a hoe.
So you're calling me a hoe? Boo. He's calling me a hoe. How can you call me a hoe, honey?
So
I can never be a hoe. I'm just an actor. It's just that I act in.
Okay, I'll take that. Okay, so here's the thing, no? The reason why men, and this is statistically proven, it's a biological built-in thing within all of us.
Yeah.
The reason why we prefer monogamous, not actually in monogamous relationship, we prefer women who are exclusive with us is because it ensures paternity, so that there aren't any questions about my offspring.
Is it?
So yeah, it's a built-in system within us that we prefer women who are exclusive with us, so that we know that whenever there's a child, then there's no question about paternity. So with those guys that were willing to lobola you, were they not worried about that at all? Ukuthi, njengoba ngizoba nengane nalo muntu lona, is it not possible somewhere down the line that that's not my child?
Never, because mina I'm a lover of note. So mozwana nami you definitely know ukuthi mangamitha ingane yakho, because uzobona nange the way I handle you, the way I am. My job does not define me.
You're not exactly answering the question.
My job does not define me.
No, but you're
just
not
because
exactly
I do
answering the question.
it does
How
not
is he
mean
gonna ensure that that's his child?
because he knows what I him every day. If he wants to do a paternity test, I'll take it. But I'm gonna hold a grudge against him. There's nothing wrong with not being sure with the child.
There's everything wrong.
Mamela, when you're in a relationship with a because uzobanama doubt, like you're saying, normal people have their limits, their boundaries. So if you're a normal guy dating a girl like me, it's okay to question it. You understand the way you're coming from. But for me, I don't think I've never given a guy a reason to doubt me because I'm very open. Like I'll literally tell you about everything. I'll literally discuss a scene that I just had now and tell you, go baby, that guy was so wag. He couldn't even me like you do. After you continue, he stopped, you know? So why would you even doubt a girl like me?
That's the information that is given to you by him. That means you're controlling the information.
So you're calling again?
That's exactly. Because the thing is, you are literally designing a world according to you, so that it can meet your certain agenda.
Yeah.
So that you build the trust based on your information.
Yeah.
Bro. Because what are you going to say tomorrow? The other guy satisfied you better than you, my love.
They can never satisfy me when there is a mister at home.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't even my just goes dry. Like a wheat pig's. It goes flaky dry, my love.
Woo! Yeah.
Are you feeling hot?
No, I'm enjoying this conversation.
Okay.
I'm enjoying this conversation. I'm just thinking of the audience. Sometimes they are repulsed by things that they are not used to. And sometimes that's why at the beginning of every video, especially with you, Zulu, Barb, and Sexy Antler, said if at any point you don't like what you're hearing, you can watch something else.
Okay.
Yeah, because Bafuno babysitter sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, they are actively voluntarily choosing to watch if they are here at this point.
Yeah.
So what happened though in those things? Like, who called off the engagement? Are you scared of commitment?
I'm not scared of commitment. So with the previous guy, we're still on my previous guy. I don't know who called off the engagement. I'd like to think that we both did because we're matured about it. It was never like a fighting situation. No, it was just, it's not working out. Let's leave it. And
why wasn't it working out?
For me, I think the infidelity on his side.
It's always the other person with you guys. Like, there's a perfect word that you.
It doesn't mean that just because I do then you cannot cheat. You can cheat. There's levels. A guy that I shoot with is nothing to me. I've got no emotion. But a guy that I'm gonna hide from you, then I'm cheating.
So
why would you do that to me? It's just work, honey. You drop me off there, you see me walking in, you see me coming out.
Let me ask you a specific
question.
No
one is walking me out with flowers.
Wait. Let me ask you and you give me a yes or no answer.
Yes or no?
You
wanna trick me?
No, I'm not trying to trick
Okay.
you. I'm drawing the situation as it is.
So what do you want me
yes
to
or
say?
no? Like,
yes. Confidently so. Because he got into this knowing what this was. He got into this knowing who I am. Why would you want me to change for you? I got into this knowing who you are. Why should you now change now? Are you now doing then tell me, sit me down. Let's have let me drop you off as well. Let me see your camera guys. Let me see them. You know? So for as long as you don't have that, you're cheating. For me, it's a job.
So out to current.
What do you mean?
The current guy is not allowed to flabba here and there. So you still have standard expectation from a normal relationship perspective, even though you live in that world.
Yeah, I still do.
Which is the double standard.
I still believe in if I could fuck a guy that I'm not shooting a video with, I still believe that I'm cheating. I still believe if I'm gonna hide a conversation on my phone, that's cheating. I still believe if my man is gonna hide a woman from me and goes fuck him, he's cheating. Yes, I do. So I do believe in the normal standards of relationship.
Which is a double standard because you want us to create an exception for your work.
If you can't take it, honey, you can always go away. It's
so current guy naye kumele azi ukuthi if he messes around.
no, man. It's not even up for discussion. Like, if you cannot take it, then we just need to depart because I'm not gonna be asking you for money just to make you comfortable. I won't do that. Yeah.
So what?
Or drive your car now, just to make you comfortable. I've tried; it doesn't work for me.
Yeah. So do you believe genuinely that you have a decent prospect of having a long-term happy relationship with those conditions? The conditions that you are drawing, that Uguti, when are you allowed, right? Because it's your job. Yena is not allowed. Do you think realistically, as a logical human being, that you have a good prospect of having someone long term?
Do you know that my boyfriend's gonna watch this?
That's the point I'm asking the question.
Yes, I do. I think the relationship is gonna be quite long term and it's gonna be very fruitful and with a lot of understanding because I mean, we both got into this knowing what this was. Like, it's not a surprise now, Gucci. I should be expected to act in a certain way, and he should act in a certain way. I met him wanting me alone. He should stay like that.
Give us the logical person's answer now. So you've answered your boyfriend. Do you think that this dynamic is healthy for a long-term relationship?
I think it is healthy.
The one person being slept with
because
randomly
let's not look at it like that. Let's look at it as it is healthy, the one person doing what they do for a living and the other one understanding. So it's like dating a corrupt politician. So am I going to leave you because I'm a South African and I don't want you to fuck up the economy? So I should leave you because I'm a South African?
You wouldn't leave?
What do you do, dude? Like, your woman is sitting there, they calling her Madam Chair, and you know that the tenders are coming straight to you and you don't even know nothing about construction. What are you going to do? Are you going to say, I'm going to leave you because you're not being a fair citizen to the country? You don't do that. You stay with them. You stick with them. You figure things out. So I expect him to figure things out with me.
The nice thing about you is that you actually know the answers to all the questions and you know the right thing to do. So I like that about you. You know what is the right thing to do. So
what is the right thing to do?
Insofar as describing that scenario, you know that the logical right thing to do from the bottom of your heart is to say, you are thieving the people of my country and therefore I cannot participate.
But what do you do in that situation then? Do you call it a normal relationship when you're dating a criminal that is robbing off the country, or do you call him a criminal and call the police?
That's what I'm saying to you. You know the answer to that question.
So would you call the police to your woman if she was a criminal politician?
I would not be in a relationship with anyone who's
then that's
thieving.
your loss, honey. I mean, I would definitely cover my man if he was a criminal and robbing off
until he robs you and kills you. Because of course it's all nice and well when he's being a thief to other people until he robs you.
How does that statement match with me having sex with other guys? Because I don't date them.
A corrupt politician. You're the one who
I'm making an example.
It's not a relatable example. Mina, I'm following logic. You are with another human being who you don't expect to sleep with other people, whether it's your job or not. I get that that's within the framework of your job. Now, when he sleeps with other people, even though that's not his job, you are repulsed by that. So you, in this dynamic with the two of you, you want to have the sole right, to reserve the sole right of sleeping with others. Oh my
God, you're making me feel like I'm narcissist.
No, I didn't mention the word narcissistic, but you bring it up.
Like, I mean...
So
right,
when
then it's okay if he cheats, but not. I don't want to find out. But the minute I find out, it's gonna be a problem. But you got into the relationship knowing Uguti, I do. Why would you even then compare your life to mine's? Because you've got a normal government job, you've got a good job going on. Why would you compare yourself to me? This is much. I've been doing this from the time I'm 22. I'm 29 now. You want me to change for you?
You're a veteran.
I'm a veteran. You're and sister. So what do you expect me to do? Ngiyekele ubudlozi, ngihambe manje ngiyenzani? And start now acting like I'm an innocent girl, go to church every Sunday. It's not that easy.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying it's not achievable, but it's just not that easy when
I think where I'm trying to get it.
It's like when you date a DJ, right? You know, with every gig, he's gonna go out, fuck girls. You either choose to be in the you either choose, which I'm gonna stay with my DJ boyfriend for as long as he wants to do this, or I want to leave. Why should you compare yourself to him?
So where I'm trying to get it is perhaps give you a reflection, a mirror, to say that whilst I'm doing this job, in order for me to have a healthy relationship with my partner long term, I should also adjust my expectations of him as it relates to sleeping around.
No, they are adjusted, but I just don't want to mention it on camera so that he knows that they are adjusted. I mean, it's not like there's certain relationships where you can understand. Yabona, like the relationship that I'm in now. Like, I really love my guy.
So mvumela.
Not like hamba, but I'm open to it. Like, as long as I do not find out, stop that. As long as I don't find out, like, because it's a tricky one. With my job, it's a very tricky one, and it's when you find someone that truly accepts you for who you are and does not judge you, you want to hold on to that person because you'll get guys that will say, I understand, but later on, guma arguments, you'd hear, you're a bitch. You know, if you get that one person that doesn't use that against you and is really respecting you, that it's a job. I mean, the other time, I don't want to mention my private life, but having a discussion with him saying, it's okay, sweetie. It's okay if you feel like maybe behind my back, you want to do something just to ease the pain of you watching me. Because he watches me on Twitter. Like, he'd comment with, oh, I saw your stepson. And, you know, so I made it a conscious decision. I'm going to tell him, baby, listen, if these things hurt you, heal the way corner, but just make sure that I don't find out because...
Okay, for the benefit of the audience, sorry, you've just mentioned stepson. Don't describe the drama of what happened afterwards.
Okay.
But please let people know what that was about. What that video was
so
about.
The stepson video was basically me having a scene with a younger guy, and we made it a stepson scene. It was amazing. It was beautiful, very exciting. He's at Jody Shore, I think, whatever. And we shot the scene. He was a much younger guy than me. I think he's like, the gap is 8 years. Mm-hmm. So I shot a stepson scene with him, and my boyfriend happened to see it on Twitter. And he mentioned it so that I know Uguti he saw
He's
it.
Aware of
you
it.
know. So I opened up the door, Uguti, you know what, my baby? Like, if this is gonna be a problem to you, honey,
what if you catch her on the other side?
Okay, try in.
My feelings.
Kanti mero stops ekopi. Oh, catch her in. My feelings on. I say obulala. Kanchan. No, nyamkhumuza ngipeba ukhumbuli. Don't you remember our first dates? No, you must never.
So if he has the freedom to pursue others, there's always
then if he wants to pursue other relationships, it's my ticket to leave.
Okay.
So with me, I've got this open mind of people are not meant to stay in your life forever. We are on a journey. So if he wants to stay with me like this, it's his journey and it's my journey as well to make sure that the trip becomes amazing. I'm not gonna stop him if he falls in love with someone else. It's up to him if he wants to be let loose. It's okay. Like, I'm not gonna force people to stay in my life. In any relationship, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you do. You can be the president of your country, honey. If you're gonna want me to beg you to stay, it's not gonna happen. You're meant to leave. If you talk about leaving, if you're looking at leaving, you're meant to leave. So
do you now understand my question about prospects of long-term relationships in your line of work?
You're deep.
Do you understand me when I ask Uguti, does anyone in this line of work has a good chance of a long-term decent relationship?
I do understand you, but I'd like to also mention which it doesn't mean which just because we prostitute. I don't want to say just because we. I didn't say. I said just because we don't have emotions. We do fall in love. We do want to hold on to that one person. But kusemntwini ukuthi yena ufunani.
Utheni usebenzisa igama lakho lika Nomthandazo?
Because I want to be identified as my true identity. I don't want to have a personality. Crystal is a amazing girl. No. I want to be identified as me. I am Nomthandazo Phangisile, and a lot of people think Phangisile is my surname. It's not. My surname is Ngobo. Phangisile is my second name. Nomthandazo Phangisile Ngobo.
Yeah. What did your family think about what you do as they first find out initially?
I do not know. I've never had this discussion with anyone from home, and I don't think it's a question I'm comfortable with right now.
Sure.
But nothing from me so far. Like I know that they know.
Okay.
I know that they're aware, but nobody's ever sat me down and spoken about it. So it's a topic I'd like to not
it's cool.
engage in.
That's cool. Thank you. I respect that. Your Twitter has how many people?
I don't know. I think I'm sitting on 56,000.
Yeah, I mean, I've never spoken to people in your line of work. It's 56,500. I've never spoken to anyone in your line of work who doesn't really have a popular social media. Why do you think people follow you guys on social media and they like you guys don't have less than 10,000 followers usually? Yeah. Especially someone who knows what they're doing. Like they push content as well. Why do you think men gravitate towards people who are in your line of work?
Because most men are frustrated from their relationships and they go to Twitter and search for and we pop up, all of us. That is why we have a lot of followers, and when they see you, they don't want to let go of you. They follow you. So it's like it's entertaining for guys. It's entertaining for people to see that there's a human being that is actually free and liberated, that can actually be free with their sexuality, with not caring for being judged actually. And they like that idea, and they can request whatever they want me to do, and I can do it without holding back. I can call them my husband, I can call them my slave, whatever they want to be. So it's like a world for them. It's like, oh my God, it's an imaginary world, and they want to stay there. It's like a place they want to go to or now and then, often. Yeah.
All right. We'll probably speak for the next 10 minutes or so. We've spoken close to an hour, but I want to get to your bread and butter now. As you do this content, what do you do on a weekly basis? On a month, today is Monday as we shoot this video. What do you do?
So on a weekly basis, today is Monday. It's me and orders because I've got a skincare line, Tando Skin. Sure. So it's me and orders, putting in orders, sending out orders. And then from Tuesday, Wednesday, I go online on chat. There's a site called chat that I use for streaming live, and I get tokens from it. And then maybe also shoot content during the week. So my week basically looks like Tando Skin, going live on chat, shooting content for OnlyFans. Then the weekend, I'm free.
All right, let's talk about chat.
Yeah.
So it's a bunch of guys that will log on live to watch you do stuff.
Yeah, not only guys. There's also gay people. There's also...
Why would gay men do that?
To watch other gay men, because there's also
I'm
gay
talking
guys.
about you specifically.
Or specifically about me.
So it's a bunch of guys that would watch you.
It's a bunch of guys and girls, because I also do...
You're attractive to women too.
Yeah, I actually talk to women too.
Even though Cultr says no.
Yeah, I also talk to women too. Sorry about that, you guys.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool.
So it's also a bunch of women, like also women who are shy to explore with a girl, like live physically. Then they'd come to my page, take me private, tip me, ask me to do stuff. So, and also a bunch of guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many hours do you think you shoot that when you go live, and how much money do you make per week from that?
I think on strip chat alone, I stay there for about a good 3 to 4 hours on a day, maybe 3 times a week, and I'd make like a good 2,000 to 3,000 rands a week for those 3 days, and then I get paid every week, so it's like 3,000 rands every week, excluding OnlyFans. So because I only do strip chat and OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So That's about it. Like, apart from the private requests that I get from strip chat, like there's people that are going to ask you to do custom videos. That's separate money. I don't even calculate that. Yeah.
Okay. And what would you do generally there? Are there any disgusting things you are asked to do there?
A lot of disgusting things, actually.
Mm.
But I will not mention them on camera, of course, but there's a lot of disgusting things.
I'm trying to imagine them in my head.
Yeah, there's a lot of disgusting things that you're asked to do. You just need to be open-minded about it and let loose. If you're not comfortable, be also free to say that I'm not comfortable to doing this, and they'll move on to the next model.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about so generally on chat, that's somewhere in the region of 15K, excluding
OnlyFans.
And then OnlyFans, what do you do on OnlyFans? What kind of videos do you post there?
Okay, so on OnlyFans, I used to post a lot of solo content. Like, I started OnlyFans in 2019. So when I started OnlyFans, it was still hiding myself. It was the buzz of, yo, I'm doing this, I'm making money from it. And I would post a lot of solo content, and I grew out of it because I saw that the demand was getting bigger and the pressure was getting worse, and I decided it's okay, fine, I'm gonna engage other people. Now I also do public content. I also do stepson videos. I do brother-in-law videos. Now I also do videos. I do everything. I do girl on girl now because the demand, like when you're new, it's okay to just show off your they understand that you're shy, but as the audience grows, they get so demanding, so you are bound to open up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you make a lot of money there?
I don't know.
I don't know myself. We don't know as the audience. So.
I make okay money. Nothing hectic, just okay money.
And you're not tempted to move the operation to like those X-rated websites?
I'm not tempted to do that because I feel like when people look at my content, they want to come in my OnlyFans and subscribe. So with the I love those sites, don't get me wrong, but it's there. Like, people don't need to pay. And then why would they come to my OnlyFans? And with OnlyFans, it is a subscription fee. And with that subscription fee, I know that I have a target and I work for a certain amount of money, like a showcase amount of money. Compared to other sites, I'm not comfortable with them as yet because of the free viewing. You can just view my videos for free. And I just don't like the idea of that. Yeah.
All right. And then in terms of contact, like you're describing solos, yes. I hear you talking about in-laws and stepsons. Are you comfortable with like content? Like when there's like 2 or 3 other people and they're sleeping with you, or you just want to be solo?
I'm okay with 2 or 3 people sleeping with me, but only girls.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because I'm not a fan of, okay, I know I'm going to sound like but I'm not a fan of huge. So guys bazofika bafuna ukukwamelela no. No, I'm fine with a group set up with girls, not with guys. With guys I can only take one guy. Like, that's as far as I can go. Because after it's game over, bitches. Like, after it's game over. I don't want to hump you no more.
Also, look at
I mean, no, mine is sticker with your my size. My size, honey. Ukuthi mangahlala la ngenza esinye isquat show content enzima na le couch. Squirt on it. You know? But not the big ones. Not that there's anything wrong. I can give them good head. It's just that it's not for my it's just a bit too big. I can't take much.
Last one. What does the future hold for you? What do you want to do?
Honestly, I'm really looking forward to Thunder Skin. Looking forward to my skin business growing because that's what I'm funding right now. That's what I'm working on. And also go to school for business management so that I make sure that it stays intact. I do not want to start a business that's going to fall apart. Mm-hmm. So that is what I'm looking forward to. Nothing else. Nothing major with the industry. I'm not going to go to so you guys cannot even bother yourself to look. I'm going to stay in OnlyFans. If it fails, I'll go onto another website or create my own website, subscribe from there. But I'm not looking to go on free websites. Yeah. So it's just Thunder Skin and Yeah, me shooting more content.
No kids planned?
Good question. Very good question. I'm scared. I'm scared of that little person being dependent on me and looking at me as their super person, like their superhuman being. But I'd like to have those in the future should things work well with my current relationship. Yeah.
And there's enough content for your kids to feast on.
What kids?
I think you know what I'm asking. Or you know what I'm saying. Your kids, when they are 10 years old, they have enough content.
Well, then it's not going to be a
watch
secret
you.
that mommy was doing this. It's not going to be a secret. I'm not intending to keep this a secret. It's not a secret. I'm everywhere on social media.
So what if you catch them doing this and they're watching you?
Me? And then that's a story. Then we'll have to sit down and discuss, why are you watching mommy play? Are you allowed to do that? Are you going to get grounded for the rest of your life? That's going to be a topic for another day.
Okay, cool. No stress. Thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you so much. This
I
has
really
been
enjoyed
fun.
this. I enjoyed it.
Quite short though. I felt like it was so short.
Do you have more things to share? There's no time limitation.
I don't have
I
much
feel
to
like
share.
I have exhausted everything I can ask you.
Yeah.
And Mina, as a creative person, I talk until I have nothing else to talk about.
Is that?
Yeah, well, unless when you have other stories.
No, there's absolutely nothing that I want to talk about apart from the fact that you guys need to follow me on my Instagram page, my Twitter page, and my OnlyFans. My Instagram is at Nomthandazo _Phangisile, and my Twitter page is at Phangisile, and my OnlyFans is onlyfans.com/Thandor, and support my grind. I'm a really lovely girl. I do whatever. They will never get me. They will never get me unless we're shooting content. Unless we're shooting content, then yeah, we can talk. But if it's not content, forget it.
So Bangaktola in the context of content.
Yeah, if they follow me and then they subscribe, it's a long process. You need to subscribe. I need to see on OnlyFans how constant you are with tipping, and then I can consider.
Thank you very much for joining us. I appreciated that.
Thank you.
I love this conversation. Thank you very much for watching us, guys. We hope you learned something. Whatever. Thank you for watching. Boom.